Hi, everybody. Welcome to Starting 11 for Match Week 26. We are live. And when I say we, it's the royal we. It's just me today. But we're live here on YouTube. I believe we're live on Twitch. You know, I'm live in my own buddy basement, if that makes any sense. So, we're going to talk about the week that was in Match Week 26. Disaster week for not only my team, but Adelia's as well. In fact, she's so upset she decided she couldn't make the show. She's too upset by it. I'm just kidding. She had something come up. She'll be back. Be back this Friday because we got midweek matches have already started. We'll be talking about those on Friday. I could cheat, say that I've talk about them today, but we'll talk about them on Friday. We'll get into what was because we had an extended week this week. We had Liverpool traveling all the way to Birmingham to take on Villa for the first match. This is happening on Wednesday. They're holding a 7-point lead on Arsenal at this time. They get an opening goal through this kid named Mo Salah. It turns out, despite Jose Mourinho's insistence, he's going to be a pretty good football player, I guess. I have faith in Mo Salah that one day he will be a good football player. It's a terrible giveaway by Andres Garcia that sets us up. It goes straight to Diogo Jota in the box. And a nice, cool little pass over to Salah, who absolutely hammers this thing into the top of the net. But now Liverpool hasn't been in the greatest form at this point, and they let a couple in before the half ends. The first one through Yuri Tielemans in the 38th minute. Then Ollie Watkins is going to head one in 3 minutes into the extra time, first half. So Villa goes to break up 2-1 on your table toppers, those ruddy Liverpuglians. But they wouldn't be able to hang on. Trent Alexander-Arnold levels it in the 61st minute. Deflects it off of Tyrone Mings on the way in. Now Liverpool should have also taken all 3 points. Darwin Nunez. Darwin Nunez is a name people know. I think by reputation should be a much better football player than he is. He had a wide open net in the 68th minute. When I say wide open, there was nobody in the way. He's in close, and he skies this thing about 10 feet over the crossbar to cost his team 2 points. By this point, they're going to settle for 1. They'll trade with the Aston Villa, who's also going to get a point. The good news for Arsenal at that point is because they were only going to play once this week. Liverpool's playing twice, so a little stumble for Liverpool here. They're still ahead, but only by 8. Arsenal's going to get West Ham on the weekend. That's a favorable matchup. Liverpool taking on the defending champion, Manchester City. Maybe just a shadow of what they were last year, but still, it was for the last 6 years a marquee matchup. So here we go. Next match. Speaking of marquee matchups, guys, this isn't one of them. This was a poor match. Poor Leicester City, taking on Brentford. The game was over by the 32-minute mark. Honestly, it was over by the 17-minute mark. Jonas scores for Brentford. Brian Mbeumo will then score in the 27th minute. And 5 minutes after that, Christian Norgard's head it puts in Brian Mbeumo free kick. All the people are racing towards the exit. The game is 32 minutes old. The people at King Power Stadium had already seen enough. Fabio Carvalho is going to add another one. In the 89th minute, it's just, another insult to injury goal against Leicester here. Jamie Vardy, first half, really in the first 20 minutes, had 2 really good chances. Just didn't go in. He just seems so fast. And it looks like he's doing it all himself, too. I keep thinking in my head, if Jamie Vardy wants to, he could be a tremendous guy off the bench for a top tier club next year. But because I don't see any chance in hell Leicester stays up this year. But if Jamie Vardy really wanted to, he could stay up. Somebody would get him, bring him in off the bench. You need energy in the last 20 minutes. Put on Jamie Vardy. He's a leader. I don't see where you can go wrong with him. We probably get paid a bunch of money. You know what I mean? Get out of Leicester. All the bonuses are there for Jamie Vardy to leave, but I think he's a guy who's staked his claim over in Leicester City. Legend, of course. He could never leave. Just like John Terry in Chelsea. Oh wait, he went and played for Aston Villa for his last year or whatever, maybe 2 years when they were in the championship. So there you go. He couldn't play Chelsea as long as he doesn't have to play Leicester City, he'd be fine. After the match on Monday, the Foxes end up sacking two of Ruud van Nistelrooy's assistants. They sacked Ben Dawson and Danny Alcock. But to be fair, they were Steve Cooper's guys. Now, Ruud van Nistelrooy could bring in anybody. He could bring his old pal Sir Alex into this squad. They aren't going to win. They got talent. It's just far too late, it seems, I think, for Leicester to do anything. But speaking of teams that are, near the bottom, but have actually started to do stuff, we're going to turn to Bournemouth versus Wolves, and this is a huge result for your Wolverhampton Wanderers over the heavily favored Cherries. This whole match swings when Ilya Zabarny goes to challenge Ryan Aït-Nouri. He slips, his foot slips over the ball. He goes spike first into Aït-Nouri's leg. It's originally carded yellow. VAR says, whoa, maybe you want to take another look at that. And for sure, they look at it as a reckless challenge. I know that we've seen this, especially last year. Anything when you skip over the ball over top of it, you aren't in control. If you go spikes first into someone, it's going to be a red card. So, red card, and that's 31 minutes in. I think it was the 36th minute when Matheus Cunha, of course it's going to be Cunha, scores for Wolves. No other goals allowed throughout the match, so that'll stand as the winner. Cunha now has 13 goals on the year. He has goals in 3 straight. He's signs that nice new contract over at Wolverhampton. He seems to be happy to be there. I don't see him arguing with his teammates on the pitch as much anymore, which is nice. He's starting to grow. Starting to mature. He's, I believe, 25 years old now. He's starting to grow. He's a man. He's a human being. Wolves move 5 points clear of Ipswich Town into safety. By the way that Ipswich has been playing, it might be a safe bet that Wolves could stick around. But we'll talk about their match in a minute. First, we're going to go to Southampton, and it's another drubbing for the poor Saints at St. Mary's Stadium. Like, their own fans have to watch it. It's terrible. It's when the neighborhood bully comes over and beats up your dad. It's terrible. João Pedro scores in the 23rd minute. And then we got second half goals from Jorginho Ruder. Matoma scores. Jack Hinchelwood is also going to score for Brighton. 4-0, or 0-4, whatever you want to call it. They poor Southampton continuing their plummet towards history. Only 9 points on the season so far for the Saints. It's how do you pick these guys? Where do you get points from these guys from now on? Terrible. They're awful. Next, two teams that, well, one team certainly vastly improved from where they were just 2 months ago, and a team that's just been seems to be improved overall. Meet up at Craven Cottage, but this is a London derby for what it's worth. Fulham and Crystal Palace. Palace goes into the Cottage and dominates. Fulham looked second class to Crystal Palace the entire afternoon, and Fulham doesn't get a single shot on target, except for Joaquin Anderson. Joaquin Anderson scores a goal. Unfortunately, it's a header into his own net. So they go down 1-0 the 37th minute. And then Daniel Munoz is going to score the second goal for Palace, the second and final one. He gets in close and unleashes an absolute rocket short side over Bernd Leno's shoulder. 2-0 Crystal Palace. They're scoring a couple goals here and there. Ollie Glasner has some working a lot better. And this is without any mention of Eber Eze. What happened to Eber Eze? Anyways, Fulham's going to remain in the top 10. Fulham, comfortable at this point, in 13th spot. Crystal Palace, not going anywhere this year. Congratulations to them. Now, we talked about Ipswich Town before. They had to take on the Tottenham Hot Spuds over on Portman Road. I didn't have a great weekend watching football. I'll say this match did not help things at all. Ipswich needed a win just to keep pace with the Wolves. We were playing at the same time. But Brennan Johnson ends up scoring 2 in the 18th and 26th minutes for Tottenham. Class act, though. He does not celebrate either goal. His dad was a tractor boy for 4 years, from 1999 to 2003 or something like that. 4 years, something like that. Omari Hutchinson is going to bring the Ipswich Town back to within 1. But the second half, Jed Spence is going to score, and then Dion Kulusevski with a real nice goal, cutting across the top of the box and curling it into the far side. 4-1 is the final for Spurs. Liam Delap had a good match. He was had some real good chances, especially in the first half. I think he had one go off a crossbar, one that goes just wide and one will save. And then second half, he has one called back, offsides. But, close only counts in, you guessed it, hand grenades, etc. Tottenham, they've now won 3 straight, which is concerning. It's concerning to me. Someone who is not a Spurs fan, any kind of forward momentum for them is disliked heavily. They're still outside the top 10, though. So there you go. Speaking of things I dislike, we're going to go back to Villa Park. And my Chelsea continue their run of poor form. It's despite a 9th-minute goal from Enzo Fernandez, who actually gets a couple of good chances in this one, but he scores a goal in the 9th minute. It's a great setup by Pedro Neto, who is actually pretty good for Chelsea. He was, I think, the best Chelsea player by far in this match. Cole Palmer, again, he's snake bit. He's in this rut. He hasn't gotten assists since December, since everything around him has been usually shit since then. He slips when he has a chance on goal. I think there's just a lot of pressure being put on a 20-year-old kid right now. It's people got to set up. We got to get people to step up here for him and stuff like that. And Neto did his job, but we got Sancho here, who's quickly reverting back to what he was at United, which is concerning because we have the responsibility of signing him now after the season. All our wingers have been great. There's been a lot of injuries, which I have zero excuse for, and I won't blame them. This is their fault for only signing kids. This is their fault for being, worrying. They have a worrying amount of teenagers in their Rolodex. You know what I mean? And then you go look at Villa. Villa sells John Duran in the January window. They don't rest. They don't say, well, we did our sales. They wanted to do something to improve the club, so they pick up a couple guys. They pick up Marcus Rashford on loan from United. Then they pick up, Enciso or Asensio. I always get these names wrong. I always thought I was better at names. I'm not. Marco Asensio. They get him on loan from PSG. Now, the first goal they had to take a look at quite a bit through VAR for being offside. I thought it was fine, and it turns out it was. So there you go. They equalized it. I believe that was I didn't even write down. I believe it was around the 61st minute, maybe the 58th, something like that. But with time winding down, Rashford plays the ball to Asensio again. He puts it on net. This isn't a rocket. There isn't much anything. But Philip Jorgensen makes an absolute mess of this. Somehow it goes through his arms, and I think he ends up batting it into his own net. That's just the way the season's been going for these guys ever since. They hear from the manager that no, they're not in the title race, and then they start hearing things like, "Oh, the top four was never the goal" and stuff like that. To hear that, where's the drive going to come from then? What are you guys going for? Just showing up? Don't get injured this year. So they tried to walk it back this past week, and we're saying, no, it's definitely the goal is Champions League. It's like, we know what you said. This shouldn't be a language problem. We understand what you're saying fully well. And I'm pretty sure you understand what the reporters were saying when they were asking you these questions. So, anyways, Chelsea's in trouble. But with all this mess they've been in since December, everybody else has kind of been a mess. So we are still in the hunt for a Champions League spot, despite the fact that we've dropped back to 7th place. And Villa, right behind us now, after the poor form they were in before too. So there you go. Anything can happen this year in the Premier League, except for maybe at the very top. So maybe at the very top, nothing might change because Arsenal has a glorious opportunity here, welcoming Graham Potter's West Ham United to the Emirates Stadium. West Ham hadn't won in 4 matches at this point, but Arsenal just can't rise to this simple occasion. I thought this was a very frustrating match to watch, and I wasn't even cards on the table. I hate both these clubs. I really hate them. But I have friends that enjoy Arsenal, and a win for them is really no skin off my teeth at this point. So sure, I'll see if Arsenal can do something here. Maybe cause some chaos at the top of the ladder. But they put pressure on. But they're not really putting shots on. Some shots are getting, a couple will get through to the entire match. But the West Ham is doing a good job of getting in front of shooters. Arsenal's best chances are going wide, which is unfortunate for them. And they're holding the ball. I believe they had 67% of the ball again, which, of course, as Chelsea's shown, this is not a recipe to success necessarily. Especially because West Ham were counterattacking very well. And it's a counterattack that brings them, or that gets them the win ultimately as the game finishes 1-0. Aaron Wan-Bissaka gets the ball right around midfield. He runs beside the box. He puts it in. And Jared Bowen, healthy Jared Bowen, dives towards it. He heads it in. It's 1-0 for West Ham before the half's over. I believe this is in the 44th minute. It was it's a nice, lovely, lunging header. There's nothing wrong with it. Now, second half, expecting more of a push from Arsenal. They're controlling the ball, and they're controlling the ball around the box. They're just not being able to get a shot on. It's this is the match like they have Mourinho up front and stuff like that. Of course, did not have the same impact as he did the week prior. I think they eventually bring Raheem Sterling on for him to walk or run around all funny for about 10 minutes and stuff like that. Didn't help. Things go bad for Arsenal when in the 71st minute, young Miles Lewis-Skelly loses control of the ball. It's stolen by Mo Kudus, and Skelly brings him down, grabs him by the shirt, brings him down. It was clear path to goal. The only other Arsenal defender that would have been anywhere close was all the way on the far side of the pitch, near the touchline. He's only given a yellow at first. VAR says, no, you have to look at it, of course. So he goes over to look at it. It's a simple red card to make. Much more simple and say it was William Saliba's red card for the same infraction earlier this year when there was at least a couple more defenders in the area that you could argue may have taken away a scoring chance. I thought, it was a good red card. But no, this is a definite red card. No complaints from the Arsenal players on this one. They knew. I think Miles Skelly knew. He goes down the tunnel, 10 men, and with 10 men, Arsenal still controlled the play. It's not like all of a sudden West Ham decided it was going to do it. No, Graham Potter's going to park the bus. He's just going to have one extra person to do it. And it works for them. They get a surprise victory over Arsenal. An absolute disaster for them. Absolute disaster for them. If they're going to try and get to Liverpool, they have to capitalize on any little stumble they had. They had a chance to bring themselves 2 points closer. I believe they would have made it within 6, I think, at that time. Yeah, absolute disaster. Mikel Arteta had to face the music afterwards, but he says over his dead body is Arsenal giving up on the title. It isn't good for him. But also, what else is he supposed to say? No, we give up. This is what, Matchweek 26. There's only 11 more matches to go. That's 33 points. You're down at that time, I believe, 8. Mathematically, is it out? No. But probably, probably. Now, we're going to move on to Goodison Park in Everton, taking on Manchester United. David Moyes' boys hosting United at Old Goodison for the final time. And they race out now to a 2-0 first half lead. Beto scores 19 minutes in, and Stakure in the 33rd. Second half is a different story. You finally get a little bit of fight out of United, but not until about the 71st minute. Their first shot on has Bruno Fernandes from a free kick, lovely free that curls into an open side in the wall and into the far corner. 2-1, and then we hit Manny Ugarte. Who even remembered about Manny Ugarte? Anyways, he levels it in the 80th minute. 83rd minute, United start crying for a handball, despite it going off of Jared Brathwaite's face. Off his face. I can't believe VAR even bothered looking at this. And they looked at it for 3 minutes. It went off his face. Pretty simple call to make. The ref said, yeah, it was off his face. He knew it. Well, I don't know what VAR was trying to do. Anything to help out. Anything to help out those Red Devils, I swear to goodness. Anyways, and they're not done. Because in the third extra minute, Ashley Young gets brought down in the box. Andy Madley points to the spot. Penalty. This is going to be it. Everton's going to get a late penalty against United to win it. VAR, hears that when they ask Madley what the call is, he says a foul on Maguire. So VAR look from the side because it's good views of Maguire. Maguire is initially there, whatever. I think he has an arm out. Absolutely not a foul on Harry Maguire. The problem was the foul was on Joshua Delete because he had a hold of Ashley Young's shirt for a couple of seconds before finally Young goes down. If they would have taken a look at the replay that goes from the back of the net and through, you'll see Delete holding on to Young, and then finally, I think Young probably dove, but it's still, the infraction's there. The penalty was called, so it would have to stay. There isn't enough to rule it out. He was grabbed and he goes down. But I think there was some miscommunication from the ref and the VAR to rule out the penalty. The game ends 2-0. Ruben Amorim, still not a great coach. Let's say this. Maybe should have stayed in Portugal, but I hope he stays at United forever because I'm enjoying what's happening to their club right now, much more than what's happening in my club. And David Moyes, comes back to Everton. What a job he's been doing with them. I wonder if he's talking a contract extension for all things. He was only signed to the end of the year. It's an interim coach. So we'll see. Anyways, he will be coaching next week. David Moyes, as of this week, still employed by Everton. So there you are. Newcastle hosted Forest in a crazy game on Sunday at St. James Park. Callum Hudson-Odoi scores the opening goal from about 30 yards out, which is nuts. Some poor communication involved in that, but the rest of the half goes to the Maggies, who put 4 on the board before it ends. Lewis Miley and Jacob Murphy each scored 2 minutes apart, 23rd and the 25th. You got Olaena sticking his arm out in an unnatural position. I believe it goes off his forearm. That's considered a handball. They put it at the spot. A little cheeky shot by Alexander Isak to make it 3-1. And then he'll score one the regular way just a minute later. 4-1 Newcastle at the break. Poor Matt Sells shell-shocked. But Forest doesn't will. They didn't just pack up their things and go crying home to mommy. They have some fighting. And Nikola Milinkovic is going to score a cheeky one from a corner. And then that was in the 63rd minute. Ryan Yates in the 90th is going to score to make the final far more nervy than it deserved to be. But the comeback falls short. Newcastle are going to survive to go 5th. Forest is continuing this drift away from the top, but they're still in 3rd. And this is Nottingham Forest. It's still what an incredible season they're having. It's unbelievable. I still think they're going to miss the Champions League, though. Just saying. Now, the final match of the week. So, and for the last 6 years, this has been one of the marquee matchups you'll get in the English Premier League. Manchester City hosting Liverpool at the Etihad, but this marquee matchup did not live up to expectations whatsoever. There's no Erling Haaland in this match. They're saying it's a sore knee. It's the reason why he wasn't in for that match against Real Madrid, where they bowed out the Champions League. One guy who's feeling just fine, Mo Salah, and he opens up the scoring 14 minutes in. It takes a deflection off of Nathan Ake on the way, and it's coming from a corner, and it's a pretty well worked corner. This is something I'm sure they've been working on the practice pitch. I believe it's Curtis Jones puts the ball in low on the ground. It goes to Szoboszlai, It just gives a little tapper to find Mo Salah right in the middle of the box. An unbelievably hard strike, 1-0. Don Sabasala. There you go. That smart play, and he gets to take credit for the second goal. And this one was assisted by Salah. Those two working well together on that day. Somehow, and this is coming from the middle of the box, I guess. Somehow Ederson is just rooted to the spot. Doesn't even move. I didn't think it was a very hard shot. And it was kind of right beside him. I have no idea what Ederson was doing on this one, but it was a lot like his entire squad. Like, none of these guys seem too involved in the match. As they're putting shots wide. Like, all their best shots went beside the net. I think they got 4 shots on, and if you look at them, like, one by Phil Foden has like 2 or 3 bounces on the way in. Doku, the same thing, couple of bounces on the way in. Nothing too troubling for Alisson Becker at all. Liverpool now jumped out, I believe, just an 11-point lead on Arsenal. But unlike for the last few months, now Arsenal has a game in hand. They'll be having their game in hand this weekend. Matches have already gone underway for Matchweek. I guess it'll be 27, which is phenomenal. As going back to Matchweek 26, though, as you know, we all do. Adelia, Ferris, and I have us go on our sleeper app to our prediction page. See, we try and pick the winners of the week. Guys, I'm not good at it. I have a lovely guy from Alabama as a producer on this show. I don't believe he's ever watched more than 10 minutes of European football in his life. I'm pretty sure he gets mad just by calling it football. But I can guarantee you this. He could probably pick better winners than me. What do you think?
Let me tell you something. You said football. You said football. I like to say the Auburn Tigers went out and got a great team put together through like recruiting.
It's the other one.
It's been amazing. The Auburn basketball team's doing great as well. But like, especially when we look down into the football, we got ourselves a transfer quarterback, which might change things for the future. Like, man, all I did was hear football. I appeared like a genie from a bottle. Hey, all you got to do is rub me the right way. You know what I'm saying?
Justin.
And we're going to do this thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, listen. Hey, listen, Snark.
Yeah.
Listen to the crowd.
Wonderful.
Thank you. I came in like a wrecking ball. You know what I'm saying? Bro, all right. So let's do this. It's time to make picks, right?
Oh, yeah. You can make some picks. So we had matches already start. Oh, by the way, Ferris had won that last week, 4-3-2. Now
we don't talk about Ferris here when I'm on the show.
It's I can sympathize. Yeah. First, I should let you know that the highest paid players in the English Premier League, all kickers. Just so you know, just so you have that in your head.
Wow, like we do the total opposite. That's crazy. Like, I mean, kicking a field goal is a big deal, but you know what I'm saying.
I'm gonna write your stuff down just so when you beat me, I can cry about it. I'll probably cry myself.
Yeah, that's what I like to hear. You know what I'm saying? I love to bathe. Look, every night I bathe in the salty tears of haters. You know what I'm saying?
I get it.
That's what I do. I just swim in it.
Well, it's doing wonders for your skin.
Hey, not gonna lie.
You're glowing. It looks lovely.
This is how I've got the luscious beard that I've got is by drinking some of that water. That's the secret.
I don't know if that's water. That's not something you should do. Okay. The first 4 matches, I know you don't know the scores. So, Brighton versus Bournemouth.
Name that last team again.
Bournemouth.
Yeah. Man, we're going to go with Bournemouth because Brighton sucks. What kind of idiot names their team Brighton? Okay.
It's a long story. Okay. Second one. Wolverhampton Wanderers versus Fulham Football Club.
I like the Wanderers. I like to wander around the world. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Like let people soak it in. So we're gonna go Wanderers.
Okay. Crystal Palace or Aston Villa?
Look, I'm going Aston Villa. Crystal Palace sounds like they should be in a Cinderella cartoon.
Okay. Now, you got Chelsea Football Club or you got rotten old Southampton.
Look, I know Chelsea's a name that I've actually heard before. Being an American,
Sure.
which I would like to say that I am excited to possibly be able to call you sometime in the future a fellow American, Snark.
Sorry.
And guess what? You're possibly not even going to have to move.
It's ridiculous.
You don't even have to relocate. You're going to be able to travel freely to Las Vegas whenever you want to. It's a win-win situation for you, Snark. But
stub my toe and go bankrupt.
Look, hey, listen, man. It is what it is. You know what I'm talking about? But with that being said, man, I'll go Chelsea just because I know who they are.
Attaboy. Yeah, what a team. What a pick. Now, the matches that I'm going to help pick as well. Brentford, Everton.
Redford and Everton?
Brentford.
Oh, yeah. If you can't even pronounce the name, get out of here. We're going to go Everton.
Okay. I am picking Brentford in that one. Now, Forest at home to Adelia and Ferris's Arsenal Football Club. And this is a pretty big matchup. This is the second and third place teams.
Listen, this is how we're going to do it. This is how I'm going to make picks. And this is the trick about making picks is when you sit here and you have all the knowledge and everything's flowing through your brain, you start to wonder what ifs and everything else. I don't have that problem.
No.
Listen, I'm from the great state of Alabama.
Sure.
Okay?
I've heard of it.
And maybe if I give you a chance here, almost like a little movie trivia question here, Snark.
Okay.
What movie is famous from a character that was born and bred in Alabama?
Forrest Gump.
That's right. Forrest Gump. And that guy could run like nobody's business. So I'm expecting Forrest to run all over Arsenal in this game. It's going to be unbelievable.
This is unbelievable.
Listen, it's going to be so huge. So huge.
I'm picking Arsenal. Okay. I guess I should mention Adelia picked Brentford as well, and Arsenal as well as I.
Well, I mean, of course, it's a homer. She's a homer. That's a homer pick.
Yeah, sure. Next match: the Tottenham Hotspurs versus Manchester City.
Listen, I don't even want to go into what the Tottenham Hotspurs sounds like.
Yeah.
Right? Like, if you didn't know this was soccer that we're talking about, because I'm not going to call it football, because it's soccer, okay, guys? Soccer. Sure. So, when you're talking about soccer and you didn't know this was the name of a soccer team, I mean, just let your imagination run through you about what that name entails.
Their Spurs go jingle, jangle, tangle.
Listen, man. Yeah, so with that being said, we're going to go with them. I'm going to go with them.
He's going Spurs. He's going Spurs.
They have a little spicy to their name. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it just makes sense.
I'm going to say it's a draw. Adelia says...
Oh, yeah, I forgot this stupid sport has draws.
Yeah, City. Yeah. Now, Manchester United. I'm sure you must have heard of those guys. Versus the Ipswich Town Tractor Boys.
Oh, God. Like, I know who I should be picking here. But then I hear Tractor Boys.
Yeah.
And if you didn't hear me earlier, I come from the great state of Alabama.
I didn't hear you. I didn't know.
Listen, there are tractor gangs here.
Jesus, I knew it.
They ride around on their tractors, just bringing about devastation across the land.
Ridiculous,
right? I know. I should probably be picking Manchester United, right? Mm-hmm. Because they're a big, powerful, known team. Probably money out the wazoo.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They
So,
used to. They used to. Now they have to pay their support staff in soup and sandwiches.
but I'm going to tell you right now, when you said the name of the tractor boy, I think that tractor's sexy.
Oh my God! Come
So,
on.
so we're going to go with the tractor boys.
I have you down for Ipswich. You may be the only one who does it, but I'm going to hedge my bets just because I like you so much, Justin. I don't think they're going to win, but let's say draw. Let's say draw just for the chaos. Let's say
Mhm.
draw for chaos. I never win these weekly things, anyways, and this is probably why. Next match: Liverpool versus Newcastle.
All right, Newcastle's a beer, so I almost picked them automatically.
Sure.
Uh, Liverpool, I don't like liver. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if you have spots there in Canada to eat like, gizzards or liver or whatever, right?
Oh,
They have the
there's
chicken.
liver and onion places. There's liver and
Yeah,
onion places.
yeah. I don't really dig it. I don't really dig the
No,
liver. Okay,
not an awful fan. Not an awful fan.
but man, this one's a tough one. Newcastle, we got Liverpool.
Mm-hmm.
Who and man, dude, we'll go. Listen, it's already hot here in Alabama, 75, 80 degrees. It's good to go sit in a pool
Jeez.
at this time of year. Yeah, let's go with Liverpool.
Oh, Liverpool. Probably a smart choice. The choice I was going to make. And, well, it's also the choice that Adelia made. Adelia also went for United. So we were split between the three of us on the last match. Now, the final match of the week: West Ham United versus Leicester City. The Hammers versus the Foxes.
Listen, if people don't know me from the entertainment side of things, you know what I'm saying? Obviously, I'm entertaining. All right. Yeah, let's go ahead. Let's. Very entertaining guy. Very entertaining guy. The crowd goes crazy. But
Yeah.
here's the thing I would like to say right now is that means that you would know that the nickname ham bone.
Sure.
We're going with the hammer. I like to lay it down sometimes, and so does the hammer. We're going to go
Oh,
with the
boy.
hammer. We're going
They're
hammer.
playing at they're playing at home at the lovely London Stadium. Now, do I think they're gonna win? Yeah, goddamn do. Because Leicester has been remarkably bad over the past through. Well, I think you made a good choice. I'm gonna pick them, and Adelia has picked them as well. And I tell you what, Justin, that's gonna be it for the starting 11 this week. Fantastic. And
Yeah, man.
I
Listen,
will be crying myself. I honestly will cry myself to sleep when you beat me on this predictions thing this week.
look, I'm just going to tell you right now. This is a perfect. I'm just playing around with things right now, obviously, but like this would be the perfect. That's going to be Snark. Whenever me, so I haven't watched a single game this entire. I don't even watch soccer until like now. I do get into it, like patriotism and all
Sure.
for the great and wonderful. Like what is it? Every 4 years, the World Cup. Maybe even the Olympics or whatnot. I get
Yeah.
into it, but besides that, I don't know shit. So yeah, if I do beat you, you ought to be pretty sad about that. But nah, man, it was fun. Listening to you in the background, even though I knew nothing about any of these things. There was yellow cards and red cards being thrown out,
Sure.
and
Sure.
all that kind of good stuff. And it's like, bruh, that's why I can't watch. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you. I I need full contact soccer. I just
Oh
need it
yeah.
to be full contact soccer because the thing that pisses me off more than anything, and it's pissing me off. I'm not just offended with soccer with this. This goes to the NBA as well. The thing it just grinds my gears is the flopping,
Sure.
the damn, like sometimes a yellow or a red card be thrown, and it's not even that serious of a damn thing going on here. Like it just gets
You can thank
ridiculous sometimes.
Brazilians for it. You can thank
It
Brazilians for it, Justin.
You run by and you just happen to fart by a guy, it's a
Oh,
penalty.
I
The
would
other team's getting
say.
a penalty kick, just like in the NBA. Somebody's getting free throws. Like it's just these kind of things happening all the time, and it just, man, I can't do it. It's just, bro. Like
I'm
I
gonna.
even I even hate it in the NFL when the quarterbacks gets protected like, like they're ballerinas or something, bro. We're football players out here. Let's stop doing this.
Yeah, there's one from Kansas City that has probably watched a soccer match or two. Now, I'm going to say thank you very much for popping in here, Justin. A ton of fun talking to you. It's been too long since I've actually got to see you. I think I mentioned to that before, but I'll do it here on air. Can people find you anywhere on the Let's Get Ready network?
That is right. That we're over at the sports channel right now, but we also have an entertainment channel and everything else where we post like movie news and stuff like that. We do our best to stay on top of things. But a lot of us have a lot of things. We all work like our own full-time jobs. None of us are doing this for a living and everything else, but we try our best to do our thing. Tomorrow should be going live on Twitch for an Auburn basketball watch along. But I'll also be talking about some of the entertainment news at the same time to have videos and stuff ready for the YouTube channel. Go over there, like, subscribe to this channel and to the entertainment channel.
Mm-hmm.
It's all done pretty much by the same people. We're a family. We like to enjoy it. Please join the Discord or whatever. You can do that now for free, just to come hang out, be part of a community.
Sure. Ko-Fi.
Like we talk, Ko-Fi. Yeah, and do the Ko-Fi thing. Like, join that, and you can join us right now. We're going through not Deadpool. I just screwed that up, but Daredevil series because
the
new season
and black.
Yeah, the new season's about to come out, so like we're getting ready and pumped up for that. I'm going through and actually watching it for the first time. We're almost done with season 2. About to be going into a Defenders rewatch real quick because that does have some of the story involved in there, which I'm not looking forward to. I heard a lot of bad things about the Defenders.
Not great.
Yeah, I might be watching that while I'm taking a dump. Oh. But with all that stuff being said, man, please just do that. Like, subscribe, comment down below. Tell me how bad my picks were or Snark's picks were. It doesn't matter. We'll take it in stride. And unless you got something to say, man, we're getting out of here.
I'm just gonna say, starting 11's live Tuesdays at 7 Central, probably the best standard time you can get. We also have Rewatchers Council, the show I do with Adelia over on the Entertainment Network. That's our full 144 episode rewatch of Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Damn right.
We're going to be talking Doppelgangland this week. So excited. Always excited to see an evil Willow, if you know what I mean. LGRN after Snark. Going to take a couple weeks break here, but coming back with talk with Danny about those new Daredevil episodes. So
hey, bro, you're going to be talking about Danny about the new news that came out about Kathleen Kennedy.
Oh, I'm sure.
You got to hit up a little bit of that, boy. Got to steer that British team, man. Boy, we're going to get this done. But I'm going to tell you right now, this is the best show talking about soccer at this time on Tuesdays by English speaking broadcasters. You know what I'm saying? Ooh. This is the thing. Come down. They break this thing down. They actually watch the matches. You know what I'm saying? They actually watch them. And man, do you know how hard that is? Yeah, how hard that is?
It's 90 minutes. 90 minutes. But the fast forward button can be your friend. I'm just going to say that. 15 seconds at a time sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
It works out great. Thanks, everybody, for watching. Thank you, Justin. Hopefully, Adelia will be back next week, or actually this Friday, for a special Friday edition of Starting 11 so we can get through 27. Until then, everybody. Should I say it en français just for you, Justin? Au revoir.
Un français, syrup on the biscuit. You know, listen, I just can't wait to be able to call you an actual, not just a friend, but a native friend. A friend from the same place. Bro, it's just going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing, Snark. We've hung out together. And last time you had to have a passport.
That's true.
The next time,
I'll be president.
Yeah, hell yeah. That's what I'm talking about. What dreams aren't made of. But until next time, guys, we'll see you here. You know what? Maybe if I have the time and I'm not at work or something like that, I can pop in for these picks or something and have some fun with that and all that kind of good stuff. But you guys, thank you guys for all the people who are watching. Watch the other stuff on the channel. Do all that great stuff. Until next time, may the force. Wait! I almost said may the force be with you because I thought I was on the entertainment side of things.
Close.
May the soccer ball go in your goal.
It's not. It's not the way it works.